She had called me 3 hours later after the baby was
Wait a
born.
minute, you went to the hospital? You were in a relationship and you went to the hospital and had the baby without even letting them know?
Didn't let me know. The other guy must have been there.
And I was laying in a bed for 14 hours in labor.
Literally.
And you chose to lay down the gut.
Okay, and nobody, you had nothing in it. You had nothing in it.
Okay, but
Cheated on you.
He didn't cheat on me, sweetie. We wasn't together.
Mr. Brown starts off strong, insisting that he is Jaira's father. He's been there from day one, feeding her, bathing her, and even taking her to doctor's appointments when Ms. Lever couldn't be there. He's convinced that Jaira looks just like his other children, but Ms. Lever immediately shoots this down, claiming that Mr. Brown isn't the biological father. This sets the stage for a court battle full of emotional twists. Can Mr. Brown's love for Jaira really be enough to prove his fatherhood?
You may be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Brown versus Lever.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Mr. Brown, you say you have always believed you were the biological father of the defendant's daughter, Jaira Lever. You have loved her and taken care of her.
As the tension builds, Ms. Lever drops a bombshell. She was involved with her ex during the time Jaira was conceived. She claims that she and her ex rekindled their relationship while dealing with a family crisis. This revelation puts Mr. Brown's paternity claim into question. He's stunned, but he continues to believe that Jaira is his daughter. The courtroom is gripped by the complexity of this situation, and it's clear that the truth will be hard to uncover.
Revealed to me that she was pregnant. And they also told me that there was a possibility that I might not be the father. Although I had heard this afterwards from other people, there was no doubt in my mind that Jaira was my daughter. She mentioned that I had been away, okay? But
the plot thickens when Ms. Lever admits that she and her ex were intimate in the hospital during the time Jaira was conceived. Mr. Brown, in disbelief, claims that he and Ms. Lever were also intimate during that time. But this new detail forces the question, who is the real father? This moment is critical in the case, and it leaves everyone in the courtroom wondering how this will play out. Can Mr. Brown's confidence withstand the revelations of Ms. Lever's affair?
I was not around.
Your
And
Honor,
he
in
was
July-
not there.
In July, I was at home. Miss Lever and I also were intimate July 4th in our home by the back door.
Oh my God.
No, let me explain. We were outside, it's 4th of July. My children, our children, went down the street where my niece lives.
Ms. Lever insists that Mr. Brown is not the father, and she takes it further, claiming that their entire relationship was rocky. She reveals she had been with her ex during a pivotal time, and now Mr. Brown is left wondering if he's been living a lie. His confidence begins to falter, but he's still emotionally invested. This is the first major crack in his argument, and the stakes feel higher than ever. Will the truth be enough to break their turbulent relationship?
He is not her father, and I told him that from day one. This has been a mess. And I told Mr. Brown that he was not her father because, like, this is my ex, you know? And when I end up getting pregnant, felt like it was my right to tell him so that he can move forward. But
So you felt like
In an emotional turn, Mr. Brown demands that Jaira be given his last name, but Ms. Lever shows the birth certificate, proving that Jaira's last name is Lever, not Brown. This moment is a gut punch for Mr. Brown, who feels as though his years of commitment are being erased. The birth certificate, a symbol of legal reality, forces him to confront the undeniable truth that Jaira may not be his biological child, despite everything he's done for her.
Miss Lever and Jaira is your ex's biological child. You all did not break up. You have a second child who's in question.
Yeah.
Genesis.
Yes, ma'am. Can I say something?
Even when we broke up, Your Honor, we were still intimate. When she first got her car, she bought a brand new.
As Mr. Brown begins to process the shock of the birth certificate, the conversation turns to their living situation. Mr. Brown insists on staying in the home because he doesn't want his children to grow up without a father, but Ms. Lever is adamant that he should leave. Their emotional tug-of-war adds more fuel to the fire as both of them argue bitterly in front of the court. The tension in the room is thick, and it's clear that this relationship is unraveling.
For
And so wait a minute. As I look at this birth certificate, Genesis, Summer, Lyric, Brown, Lever.
And Jaira's supposed to be the opposite.
That's what you want.
That's not what I wanted.
So wait a minute, Miss Lever, you did give Genesis his last name.
Yes, ma'am. As I believe that he is her father, but it is a possible doubt. I was with someone else during the time.
The DNA results for Genesis come in. Mr. Brown is confirmed as her biological father. While this is a bittersweet victory for Mr. Brown, the battle for Jaira is far from over. The courtroom breathes a collective sigh of relief, but the emotional weight of Jaira's paternity still lingers in the air. Can the results for Jaira offer the clarity Mr. Brown is desperately searching for?
In the case of Brown versus Lever, when it comes to 2-year-old Genesis Brown Lever, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Brown, you...
The moment arrives. Mr. Brown is not Jaira's biological father. The courtroom falls into a heavy silence as the devastating news hits Mr. Brown like a ton of bricks. His face says it all: heartbreak, disbelief, and the crushing reality of the situation. Ms. Lever, despite her own relief, knows this moment will change everything. The truth is out, but the damage done to Mr. Brown is immeasurable. Can this relationship ever heal?
Adults read as follows.
Oh, God.
In the case of Brown versus Lever, as it pertains to Jaira Lever, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Brown, you are not the father.
The case begins with Judge Lauren Lake addressing the courtroom. Mr. Haggerty, you're here to prove you are the father of your 29-year-old daughter after her mother recently claimed you're not. And right there, the tension is set. Mr. Haggerty confidently replies, "Yes, Your Honor." You can feel the emotion already building. This man has loved this child for 30 years, and now he's being told it could all be a lie.
This is Wandick.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Mr. Haggerty, you've opened your case in hopes of saving your relationship with your daughter. She has distanced herself from you, and you claim it's because her mother recently lied and claimed you are not her father.
Then, the moment that shatters everyone's composure. Ms. Davis blurts out, "He was just a playmate." You could practically hear the oxygen leave the room. Ms. Wandick, the daughter, looks completely stunned. "That's not fair," she cries, tears rolling down her face. "You let this man believe he was my father for 29 years. This isn't just courtroom drama. It's heartbreak unfolding live."
Yes, Your Honor.
This is the man you always knew to be daddy.
Yes, Your Honor.
He's not. He was just a playmate, Your Honor. But I know who the biological father is.
Ms. Wandick continues, voice trembling but strong. "If you loved me, you wouldn't have played games with me or this man." Judge Lake's eyes soften, but you can tell she's fighting to keep order. The mother just sits there, emotionless, as her daughter breaks down. You can feel decades of betrayal coming out in real time.
It's very upsetting because she's just thinking it's all cute, fun, and games. You were young, yeah, true enough. I was young too, but I still had to do what I needed to do for my kids, and I would have told my kid from jump about possibly having another father.
And you're having to go through this on your own.
Yes, and she just thinks
Now Ms. Wandick opens up about her childhood. "Mr. Haggerty was a wonderful father to me," she says. "He'd pick me up from foster care, take me around his family, treat me no different from his other kids." The entire courtroom melts. Mr. Haggerty starts tearing up, whispering, "That's hurtful, very hurtful." You can see this man's heart breaking in real time.
Going up.
Mr. Haggerty was a wonderful father to me. Like, I was in and out of the system, and he'll come pick me up from my foster care home, take me around to his side of the family, which is, they're awesome. He's just been an outstanding dad. He didn't treat me no different from my sister.
Enter Ms. Davis's sister, Carolyn, and she drops a bombshell. She testifies that when her sister got pregnant, she told everyone Craig Haggerty was the father. No doubt, no hesitation. She never mentioned another man, Carolyn says. Talk about throwing your own sister under the bus. Even Judge Lake has to pause. The truth is twisting from every angle now.
My sister called me. She said, me and Craig just got through doing, and she said, I'm pregnant. And she told me and our family that Craig was Marzella's father.
Mr. Haggerty.
Mr. Haggerty.
She said it?
She said it.
She didn't name any?
Ms. Wandick then shares how she first learned there might be another father when a man she didn't know walked up to her, crying, and said, "I'm your dad, 19 years old, face to face with a stranger, calling himself her father." Can you imagine that shock? The courtroom is dead silent as she explains how she didn't even believe it at first, until she saw a photo of his mother and noticed a resemblance.
When I really found out things was I was at a sibling's house and this other man came up to me and he started crying and I'm like, whoa, why are you crying? Like, who are you? I don't know you. Why are you crying? Why are you looking at me just crying? And he was like, you don't know who I am? He was like, I'm your father. I'm like,
how old were you?
I was 19 years old, Your Honor.
Mr. Haggerty finds out about this other man right there in court. His face drops. "I found out today," he says, voice cracking. The entire courtroom gasps. For 30 years, he's believed he's her dad, and now he's learning another man might have claimed that title, all in front of cameras and strangers. Talk about gut-wrenching.
Still in your life?
Yeah, he still calls and check on us and stuff. And he claims to be my dad to right now.
So, Mr. Haggerty, did you have any idea about this other man?
No, I haven't. No, I didn't.
When did you find out about this?
I found out about this today.
Today?
Today.
When questioned, Ms. Davis admits the unthinkable. She was already pregnant by another man when she was playing around with Mr. Haggerty. "I wanted a baby by him so bad," she says tearfully. "I had 4 miscarriages." The pain in her voice is real, but so is the damage. She confesses she put his name on her daughter out of love and desperation. Judge Lake just shakes her head, caught between empathy and disbelief.
Man.
Yes. And Marcella was already conceived in my belly when I was playing with Mr. Haggerty. I was young.
Did you tell Mr. Haggerty that he was your daughter's father?
Yeah.
You told him that?
Yes.
Did you tell the other man you were in the relationship that he was the father too?
The other man already knew because he called it when Marcella was first born.
Ms. Wandick says she's never seen her birth certificate, ever. Judge Lake holds it up, revealing the father's name belongs to the other man. The courtroom goes quiet again. The truth, literally written in ink, has been hidden from her for 29 years. Mr. Haggerty bows his head, clearly crushed. It's one of those moments that hits like a ton of bricks.
This is the child's name, mother, of course, Tessie Joyce Davis, and father's name. The other man is on the birth certificate. That is not Mr. Haggerty.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Miss Wandick, have you ever seen your birth certificate?
Then comes a rare, beautiful moment. Mr. Haggerty's biological daughter, Vanessa, takes the stand. "She looks more like my dad than I do," she says, tears streaming. The sisters lock hands and cry together. Vanessa declares, "Even if she's not my sister by blood, she's my sister." Judge Lake's voice softens as she says, "That's love, right there." You can practically feel the entire room tearing up.
The court, please.
My name is Vanessa Lachey Haggerty.
Miss Haggerty, thank you so much. So you are Mr. Haggerty's daughter.
Yes.
So do you believe Ms. Wandick is your sister?
Of course I do. She looks like my dad. She looks more like my dad than I do. That's all I've ever known. Like when we were young, we dressed alike.
When asked why she waited so long to tell the truth, Ms. Davis finally says it. "I felt guilty, but her daughter isn't buying it." "You waited until money got involved," she snaps. The courtroom erupts in tension again. 30 years of deceit and resentment are crashing down, and Judge Lake struggles to keep control. You could cut this tension with a knife.
Money. When this other man accumulated all this money, that's when she wanted to say, that's who really your dad is. You need to get some money from him. So it was all about the money because that's when she told me.
So when was this?
This was back in 2016, Your Honor.
Judge Lake takes a deep breath. "We can't live in this pain," she says. "We can't grow in this pain." Then, Mr. Haggerty whispers, "I love my daughter." The judge looks him in the eyes and nods, because no DNA test can measure that kind of love. The whole courtroom feels it.
I love my daughter.
I know. I know you do.
I love her dearly.
I know.
That's what I'm saying.
And
if you love me, the cycle will continue to go on and on and to continue to hurt me over and over
I
again.
want you to look at me, baby. I believe your mother loves you.
And here it is, the moment we've all been waiting for. Judge Lake opens the envelope and reads the results. In the case of Haggerty versus Wandick, Mr. Haggerty, you are not the father. Gasps fill the courtroom. Ms. Wandick bursts into tears, while Mr. Haggerty just nods, holding back his own. 30 years of love, now shattered by science.
In the case of Haggerty versus Wandick, when it comes to 29-year-old Marcella Wandick, it has been determined by this court.
Ms. Harris enters the courtroom with a complicated situation on her hands. Two men claiming to be the father of her 18-month-old daughter, Anaya. Her current boyfriend, Mr. Murray, and her ex, Mr. Donaldson, are both convinced they're the dad. Ms. Harris is here today to get some answers. The tension is already palpable as the case begins.
You may be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is the case of Murray versus Gerald Donaldson.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Ms. Harris, you have been caught in a love triangle. There are two men in court today claiming to have fathered your 18-month-old daughter, Anaya.
Ms. Harris explains how Mr. Donaldson, her ex-boyfriend, left her when she got pregnant, saying he had feelings for another girl. While he was there for the baby shower and the birth, he wasn't around for the pregnancy. His departure left Ms. Harris alone during a time when she needed support the most. This betrayal is just the beginning of a long journey in court.
Yes. Why is that? Let's talk about these relationships. Tell me about your relationship with Mr. Donaldson.
From my understanding, we was dating. But then when I got pregnant, he told me he had feelings for another girl. And he told me that he didn't want to be with me. So I was basically alone during my pregnancy. He was there during the baby shower and...
Mr. Donaldson admits that he didn't even believe Ms. Harris was pregnant at first. He thought she was trying to hold on to him by claiming pregnancy. Wow, really? This admission is shocking. It's clear that Mr. Donaldson's initial response was to doubt her entirely, adding to the emotional weight of the situation.
When your stomach started growing...
No, he brought me a pregnancy test.
Oh, he did? All right. So you brought her a pregnancy test and said, prove it.
Yeah.
And she did?
By that time, it was too late. She was like big. I hadn't seen her in so long. It wasn't even no point in getting a pregnancy test.
Mr. Donaldson eventually accepted the pregnancy once Ms. Harris's belly began to show, but by then, it was too late, as he says. This lack of emotional support from him only adds to Ms. Harris's frustration, and we can see how deeply this situation is affecting her.
Oh, because you could tell then she is pregnant. Okay, and did you accept at that time that you were the father of the baby?
Yes, I did.
You did. You acknowledged it and you accepted it.
Yes, I did.
Were you active in the doctor's appointments? Did you go to those?
No.
No.
Mr. Donaldson's mother didn't even know about the pregnancy until 5 months in. And even more awkwardly, Mr. Donaldson didn't tell her himself. His father did. Can you imagine that? This lack of communication and transparency only deepens the family drama. His mom finally accepts the paternity, but it's clear she's been kept in the dark for far too long.
I did not find out about it until she was about 5 months, maybe.
You never knew your son was possibly the father of this child?
When he told me about it, I accepted that he was because that's what Chastity stated, that he was the dad.
At what point, Mr. Donaldson, did you say, Mom, I have something I have to tell you?
I didn't even tell her, honestly. I told my father, and my father told her.
Mr. Donaldson admits he's seen Anaya only a handful of times, claiming that circumstances made it hard to see her as often as he wanted. This feels like a flimsy excuse given the emotional bond he should have developed with his child. How many chances did he really make to be involved in her life?
Times now. And your family has accepted the baby?
Yes, we accept her. But when all of this started, we kind of just backed away from the whole situation because it was getting a little messy.
So at what point do you start having doubts that Anaya is your grandchild?
Mr. Murray throws a huge curveball when he admits to having a threesome with Ms. Harris in December without protection. This just took an unexpected turn. Not only is this shocking, but it also adds serious complications to the paternity drama. The room is in stunned silence as this revelation hits everyone hard.
We had a situation December 14th.
What's a situation?
A threesome.
Oh. I didn't expect you to say that. Okay, so, wait, that's December. And you didn't use protection during that? I don't know what y'all out here doing. We know young people, we know you're gonna be young, but this is This is a lot.
Ms. Weaver, Mr. Murray's mother, discovers the threesome and the pregnancy around March or April. She confronts her son and then Ms. Harris, who insists that Mr. Murray is not the father due to the dates of conception. This situation just keeps getting messier and messier. We're watching two mothers navigating their sons' poor decisions.
After the threesome.
Yes, and then like around, I want to say March or April, we found out that Chastity was pregnant.
Do you immediately say to your son, are you the father of this baby?
Yes, I did.
And
he told
what did he
me
say?
no because Chastity told him no. And then I went to Chastity and I asked her.
Ms. Weaver starts to doubt the paternity of Anaya as she spends more time with her. But there's a twist. Ms. Weaver says Anaya looks just like Fred, Mr. Murray. This adds a layer of confusion to the situation, as everyone tries to determine who Anaya really resembles.
Certain, but you just felt like, based upon your experience, Mr. Donaldson, I really believe you're the father. And you told Mr. Murray you're not. Okay. So now Anaya's 18 months old. Who's in her life as father? Who does she bond with as father?
The tension continues to rise as Ms. Weaver compares baby photos of Anaya and Mr. Murray. It's undeniable. They look alike. But wait. Mr. Donaldson is quick to agree, even though he's clearly been pushed out of the equation. This moment is a roller coaster of emotions for everyone involved.
Do you still take Anaya to see Mr. Donaldson and his mother as well?
He's moved out of state, so...
Mr. Donaldson moved out of state?
Yes, that's what he told me.
Did you, Mr. Donaldson?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
The first round of DNA results come in, and it's a shocker. Mr. Donaldson is not the father. There's a collective sigh of relief, but the bigger question remains. Who is the father then? The tension in the courtroom is palpable as everyone awaits the next twist.
Mr. Gerald Donaldson, you are not the father.
The next DNA result is red, and Mr. Murray is also not the father. The entire room freezes as Ms. Harris's world crumbles in front of her. The heartbreak is visible on her face, and the gravity of the situation is clear. The final blow has been struck, and no one is prepared for the aftermath.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Murray, you are not the father.
You don't forget betrayal, especially when it's been festering for 26 years. Ms. Tant drags her ex-husband, Mr. Winn, to paternity court to finally prove he fathered her son, Daniel. But Mr. Winn insists her affair destroyed their marriage and tore their family apart. Judge Lauren Lake is determined to uncover the truth buried under decades of resentment.
Ms. Tant, you are disgusted that you had to drag your ex-husband to court to prove he fathered your son, Daniel. You are here to put an end to this question that has torn your family apart for more than 2 decades. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Winn, you say that after your wife's reckless affair and lies, she became pregnant and tried to pass Daniel off as your son.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Winn recalls meeting Ms. Tant when they were teenagers, full of hope and dreams. They met at a public pool, fell in love, and built a life together. He wanted one marriage, one family, one future, but life didn't turn out that way. You can hear the disappointment in his voice as he speaks, the weight of decades pressing on every word.
Here today to prove once and for all that you are not the father. You say that you're tired of your ex-wife's lies?
Yes, ma'am.
Explain.
Well, Your Honor, I met this woman and thought, life was going to be great. Marriage one time, kids, same woman. And now I don't feel that was, fulfilled.
Things took a dark turn when Mr. Winn introduced his wife to an old school friend. At first, it seemed innocent, but soon, that friend was showing up constantly, doing her hair, and getting far too comfortable. Mr. Winn says he warned them both to stop, but instead, the visits continued, always when he wasn't home. The seeds of betrayal had been planted.
Between the ages of 17 and 18 at a public pool, and continued on to eventually move in together, have children, get married, and proceed on with our life.
So, Ms. Tant, were you excited about this new relationship when you met him as well?
I was excited, and it's like he said, we
Then comes the moment that shattered everything. Mr. Winn returns home to find his baby daughter alone in her playpen, his wife nowhere in sight. He goes searching, knocks on the friend's door, and there they are, her red lace panties lying at the foot of the bed, the same ones he bought for her. 26 years later, his voice still shakes as he relives it.
And next thing I know, he's coming over, messing with her hair, supposedly a hairdresser, giving her all the comforts that I should be giving her. And I didn't feel that was right. And I spoke with him and asked him to back off. And I also spoke with my wife at the time and told her, this does not need to continue.
Ms. Tant denies it all. She swears she wasn't there and insists those weren't her panties. But the tension in the courtroom is undeniable. Mr. Winn is visibly pained, his words sharp but exhausted. Judge Lake listens closely, piecing together a story that still doesn't quite add up. You can feel the emotional tug of war pulling the room apart.
And so then you found out they were sleeping together?
Yes, Your Honor. I'd been told that she wasn't in our apartment that we was living in. We lived in the same complex as this guy. One day when I'd come home, she wasn't home. My daughter was in her playpen by herself in our apartment. And I went and knocked on the door of this gentleman, and he opens the door in a pair of boxers and tells me, your wife ain't here.
Then there's the camping trip, a scene straight out of Heartbreak. Mr. Winn says they went camping as a family, but the friend tagged along. They all ended up sleeping in the same tent. I woke up, and she was between us, he recalls bitterly. Ms. Tant interrupts. We only had one tent, but the damage was already done. The trust, long gone.
In his apartment, right at his foot of his bed. Your Honor, I was devastated. I was just ready to end it all.
Miss Tant, were you in the apartment with your husband's friend?
No, what?
Were those your red panties on the floor?
No.
We had went camping one weekend. Supposed to be a family outing, me and her, and he wanted to follow along behind. He had a motorcycle.
The confrontation that ended it all came soon after. Mr. Winn tells Judge Lake he went to the friend's apartment and found Ms. Tant there, wrapped in nothing but a sheet. She doesn't deny it. Yes, I did sleep with him that night, she admits quietly. For a moment, the courtroom is silent. The truth, decades late, still cuts like a knife.
My wife, I want to sleep next to my wife, not another man.
We only have one
Your Honor,
tent.
I wake up the next morning, and what happens? I'm against the side and she's in the middle between us.
You got up and moved in the middle?
Your Honor, she was with that man that night. She had to have been.
So, Mr. Winn, did you have any other reason to believe that your wife and your friend were sleeping together?
Yes, Your Honor.
6 weeks later, Ms. Tant found out she was pregnant. She tells Judge Lake she was already 3 weeks along when she learned the news, but she never told her husband, not until their son was 2 years old. Mr. Winn says she called him out of the blue to tell him he had a son. I was joyful, he remembers. I wanted to be a father.
I was going to kick the door in if they didn't open the door, because I knew she was in that apartment. And when she did open the door, she was dressed in nothing but a sheet wrapped around her. No clothing.
You opened the door in a sheet?
Yes, I did. That was also the day that I left him.
She left me and my child, a family, for another man.
And it was due to the arguing and the fussing, and I couldn't put up with it no more.
So,
you're gonna accuse me of doing something?
Mr. Winn even moved back across states for her. He left Florida, came home to Texas, and tried to build a family again, but the ghosts of doubt followed him. He wanted to believe, but trust can't grow where lies have lived. Judge Lake's expression says it all. This is more than a case. It's two people trapped in the past.
6 weeks. I was 3 weeks pregnant when I found out 6 weeks later.
So, Mr. Winn, when did you find out about the pregnancy?
Not till after the boy was 2 years old. She contacts me and tells me, we have a son. So, I'm joyful. I have a son. I want to raise my son. I'm going to try to get back together and make a family out of it.
Then comes Daniel's turn to speak. He's now 26, sitting between the parents who've spent his whole life blaming each other. He listens quietly and says, "It's hard to hear. That line alone breaks your heart. Imagine hearing your parents argue over your very existence." The pain in his eyes says more than words ever could.
I've heard it over and over and over.
And that's exactly what I wanted to ask you. When did you become aware of all of this?
Since I was, from the earliest memory, every argument they've ever had always turns into this right here.
And so it would be, really, I want to understand this. Explain to the court, it would just start off as an average.
It would just start out as an average, you didn't do this or you didn't do that, and then it would just blow up very, very fast.
Judge Lake presses both parents. Did either of them ever truly move on? Could there be forgiveness after everything that happened? Both shake their heads. 2.5 decades later, and the wounds are still open. For this family, truth isn't just about biology, it's about closure, the kind that only comes from facing what's real.
I've ran across photos before, and my mother's actually said, she's took the photos from me and said no.
Which photos did you run across?
I've ran across photos of the other man.
And Your Honor, I've been asking for years.
And where is
since
that
this
man
boy was
now?
little, you know, for a DNA.
He's deceased.
Prove that that's
He's
my
deceased?
Yes.
Finally, the truth arrives. Judge Lake opens the envelope slowly, her voice calm but heavy. In the case of Tant versus Winn, she reads, when it comes to 26-year-old Daniel Whittle, Mr. Winn, you are not the father. The courtroom freezes. Ms. Tant gasps, tears filling her eyes. Mr. Winn stares down, silent. Daniel sits motionless, the truth rewriting his life in an instant.
In the case of Tant versus Winn, when it comes to 26-year-old Daniel Whittle, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Winn, you are not the father.
This episode kicks off with the tension already rising. We have Ms. Butler, who's 25, in a heated battle with Mr. Wilson, 48, who is adamantly denying the paternity of their 2 daughters, 4-year-old Jaira and 19-month-old Niana. Mr. Wilson claims Ms. Butler was always cheating, sending inappropriate messages, and hooking up with other men during both pregnancies. He's sure these kids are not his. Meanwhile, Ms. Butler is livid, insisting these kids are his, and she's tired of his denials.
Mr. Wilson, you've opened this case to prove you are not the biological father of Ms. Butler's 2 daughters, 4-year-old Jaira and 19-month-old Niana. You claim Ms. Butler had sexual encounters with other men around each pregnancy, and you are certain you did not father either child.
Judge Lake wastes no time getting straight to the heart of the matter. You're saying these 2 children aren't yours because of her infidelity? She asks, looking directly at Mr. Wilson. He nods firmly, saying, she's a habitual liar. She was messing with other guys. Ms. Butler shoots back, they're yours. I know they are. The back and forth is fast and furious, with both sides digging in their heels. Judge Lake observes it all, clearly taking note. This is going to be a wild ride.
All on the internet, I mean, you know, go to the apartment, everybody talking about who she messing with.
So you say these kids aren't yours?
No, they're not mine. They're not mine, not at all.
And Ms. Butler, you say he's absolutely incorrect.
Yes, these kids is definitely his.
So let me ask you this, because it's right here in my court files.
Ms. Butler, trying to defend herself, says there's no way these kids could be from anyone else. She claims they were always together and definitely not sleeping with anyone else. But Mr. Wilson drops a bombshell. He saw her get out of another man's car while they were together. His face is a mix of anger and disbelief. Ms. Butler immediately defends herself, saying, it wasn't a relationship, but Mr. Wilson isn't having it. I saw you with him. Don't lie.
Your relationship, and since there are 2 children here and you question paternity relating to both of them, I want to start with one child, and then we'll move on to the next child, so we'll make sure the testimony is understandable, okay? So let's start with Jaira.
The courtroom is on fire with accusations. Mr. Wilson says, I read the messages. She was calling this other guy daddy and sending him naked pics she sent me. Ms. Butler tries to play it off, admitting that yes, she sent some sexy pictures, but that was just a one-time thing. Judge Lake, looking baffled, says, so you sent the same pics to multiple men? Ms. Butler hesitates, then admits, yeah, I did, but not that many. The room just collectively goes whoa.
I was conceived, you thought you all were committed.
I thought so.
But we wasn't living together, so it was kind of different though.
Oh, you can't be in a committed relationship unless you live together?
I mean, I did love him though, I really did, but...
No, she didn't.
I did love you, but
I mean, if you love me, you wouldn't have never, called at work with another guy.
The situation gets even wilder when Ms. Butler admits to trying to have sex with another man while she was still with Mr. Wilson. The man didn't finish though, because, as she puts it, we just stopped. Mr. Wilson is stunned. You tried? How can you try to have sex? He asks. Everyone in the courtroom is clutching their pearls. Judge Lake shakes her head in disbelief. I cannot believe you just said that. Ms. Butler's story keeps unraveling, and it's not getting any cleaner.
So we never really.
So, Mr. Wilson, how did you even find out Ms. Butler was pregnant with Jaira? Because she's admitting to everything you saying.
Yeah.
So,
well, we were still in close contact, you know, and I thought, like I said, I gave her another chance, and she told me she wasn't gonna do it no more. And, you know, doing the line like she always do. She a habitual liar, and I thought we was...
Mr. Wilson, clearly hurt, says, how am I supposed to trust you? He recalls the day he found out she was pregnant with Jaira. She said she had missed a period, so he told her to get a pregnancy test. She came back with the news that she was pregnant, but Mr. Wilson says, in the back of my mind, I always knew the baby wasn't mine. Ms. Butler insists, the baby is yours. We were always together, no doubt. The tension in the room is palpable.
Because my phone, I didn't have my phone around that time.
They got phones at the hospital. They got a way to get in contact. She had called me 3 hours later after the baby was
wait a
born.
minute, you went to the hospital, you were in a relationship, and you went to the hospital and had the baby without even letting them know?
Didn't let me know. The other guy must have been there.
Like I said, I didn't have my phone.
What are you talking about?
Thank you.
When it comes to Jaira's birth, Mr. Wilson says he wasn't even told she was in labor until hours after the fact. I didn't even know you were at the hospital, he says. Ms. Butler defends herself, claiming her phone was lost during labor, so she couldn't reach him. But Mr. Wilson's face says it all. That's a lie. You didn't call me, and you were with the other guy. This whole situation just keeps spiraling. You can practically feel the courtroom sighing in disbelief.
I told her the last name would be Wilson, my last name. So the next day, I go to the hospital because they took the baby to another hospital. Come back here, go back there, the lady gives us our paperwork, it's back Butler. So I asked her, I'm like, how's the baby
Because
Butler?
you've been denying the baby, that's why. So why would her name be your last name?
Judge Lake, trying to piece together the timeline, asks, Ms. Butler, why didn't you let him know when you were at the hospital? Ms. Butler responds, I didn't have my phone, Your Honor. Judge Lake, clearly skeptical, says, really? You didn't have a phone, and no one in the hospital had a phone? The entire courtroom laughs nervously. Even Jerome looks like he's ready to run for cover. This story is way too convenient. You can see Judge Lake trying to hold it together.
Like, really, for real, like.
So if Mr. Wilson is not Jaira's biological father, do you know who is?
No, but the kids is his though. I'm not thinking that.
You wouldn't have
the kids is his, so there's no other possible father. No, the kids is his.
So if Jaira is not your biological child,
I'm gonna be sad because that's a wonderful little child and she shouldn't be put through that.
Now comes the real kicker, the birth certificate. Mr. Wilson says, they asked me for the baby's last name at the hospital, and I said, Wilson. But the next day, when he checked, the baby's last name was Butler. Ms. Butler fires back, you've been denying this baby since day one. That's why her last name isn't Wilson. The courtroom is silent. Judge Lake's face is a mix of disbelief and irritation. What is going on here? This is beyond me.
Or not?
Yeah, she said it. I'm not the daddy.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
That's not crazy.
Jaira?
Yeah, she's not my baby. You better go make some phone calls.
That's crazy.
I've been telling you for 4
he
years.
is not Jaira's biological father.
4 years I've been telling you.
Jaira? That is sad.
Then, Judge Lake presses on. What kind of relationship do you even have with Jaira, Mr. Wilson? Mr. Wilson says, I raised her. She called me daddy, but I knew, in my heart, I'm not the father. He even says, when I saw her eyebrows, I knew she wasn't mine. None of my kids have those thick eyebrows. The courtroom can barely contain its laughter. Eyebrows are now the deciding factor in paternity. Judge Lake looks at him and says, I can't believe I'm hearing this.
Testimony, didn't we, Jerome?
But I did thought both of the kids was yours. Like, we always had sex without no condom. So that's why I don't understand. But Nayan is definitely yours, though.
It's a lottery, ma'am.
No, Nayan is definitely yours.
Let me compose myself because I want to get the information on Nyana because I do want her to know who her biological father is.
Ms. Butler, clearly upset, says, "It hurts because you should know these kids are yours." She tries to convince him, "I loved you. I still do. We had sex all the time." But Mr. Wilson just shakes his head, saying, "You slept with multiple men. How should I know?" Judge Lake, looking both exasperated and concerned, tells Ms. Butler, "You cannot just keep blaming everyone else. It only takes one time with another man to make a baby." It's a heavy moment, but the facts are staring everyone in the face.
Everybody's running out the house, and I caught a guy over there one time. I knocked on the door. She's trying to hide a dude in the bathroom. Multiple occasions.
There was not no multiple occasions.
guys.
You only seen one thing.
I only seen it one time, but everybody tell me. All apartments.
I'm always in the house. What you talking about?
This is where you do all your nasty stuff in the house.
The DNA test results are in. Judge Lake announces, in the case of Wilson versus Butler, when it comes to 4-year-old Zaria Butler, Mr. Wilson, you are not the father. The courtroom gasps. Mr. Wilson, with an almost smug look, says, "Told you." Ms. Butler is stunned, her face in disbelief. "That's crazy," she says softly. Mr. Wilson just shakes his head. "I've been telling you this for 4 years." The weight of it all finally hits, and the silence in the room is deafening.
I'm ready for the results. Because in the case of Wilson versus Butler, when it comes to 4-year-old Zaria Butler, Mr. Wilson, you are not the father.
Told you.